Salamat Tangahari. It's a hot afternoon here at the Selangor Turf Club, and the temperatures on the ground will only continue to rise. As Kuwait and Singapore, they'll be desperate for their first set of points on the board. But firstly, over to Dennis, who was out there with both the captains for the toss.
Our afternoon game here at the STC Oval on match day number 3 of the ACC Women's Premier Cup is a clash between two sides that want to get off the mark. Singapore will be taking on Kuwait. And at the toss, I have the two captains, Amna from Kuwait and Safina from Singapore. And our match referee does. Amna is a home captain, so she'll flip the coin. Heads is a call. Tails it is. Amna, you're winning the toss. Tell us what you're going to do and why.
Yeah, it's the first toss that I won this tournament. We're going to have a bowl first. And hopefully I will try and do our best to restrict them as much as possible.
All right. What do you think will be a decent total to restrict them to so that you can have an easier second innings?
Look, when you're chasing down anything, looks competitive above 80. So obviously 80-100 is very competitive. But we'll try and bowl in, good areas and just do our best. We're a capable side, so we'll try and restrict them.
All right. You made any changes to the team for this one?
Yes, we have. We have Khadija Khalid coming in, and we also have Maria Jaspi, who's back in the squad.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Safina, you have a smile on your face. Are you happy to bat first?
Yep. Even if we won the toss, we wanted to bat first. So I guess it's on our side.
All right. An opportunity to get a win in the tournament. How have you planned for this one?
We're going to keep it simple, get back with the basics, and keep everything tight, because the last two games we've gone a couple of runouts here and there, and mainly it was all our own mistakes. So we're going to keep that tighter. And yeah, last game we're just going to enjoy and give it all.
All right. You've made any changes to the team for this one?
No, same team.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you.
And that's the news from the toss. Amna of Kuwait won the toss and she'll be bowling first.
Yes, bright smile on the Kuwait captain Amna's face as she won the toss. For what we would like to believe, it's a brave call to be bowling first under this hot sun. Yes, this Kuwait side hunting for their first set of points on the board. They've got a pretty mix of young and experienced player. The likes of Amna, the captain who's been with the team for 6 years now. Remember, because of the warlike situation, Kuwait's practice was disrupted in their home ground, the Sulabia cricket ground that is. But from there on in, they have picked a pretty strong side. There's Amna leading them, Khadija, Maria, Mariam Haider, Priyada Murli, Shanti, Shobhan Gomez, Sifa Azim is a player to watch out for. There's Mariam Omar, Suchita Lita Das, the keeper, and Candice Diaz, their opening bowler. For Singapore, they'll have the services of Shafina Mahesh, their skipper. There is Pilumi, there's Ria, Vinu Kumar, another person you need to be looking out forward to in this particular contest. Roshni, Davina, Devika, Anushka, Lasya, Ella, and Rashmeka Badri make up the 11 for Singapore women. Two sides evenly matched on paper, we would like to believe. Hence, the decision at the toss and how well you can then go on and execute that will be important. It looks like Shafina Mahesh herself will be opening the batting for Kuwait. I think she'll love these conditions. The bounce on this surface has been pretty good. It's a very well maintained ground, the Selangor Turf Club. Pitch number 4 that we are using today, the black soil that's come all the way from Australia. And that has shown some good bounce, good carry. And it has rewarded positive cricket, as we saw from Japan in that morning game. To tell you more about the conditions and how the captains responded at the toss, alongside here with me, former keeper batter, all the way from Uganda. Dennis, welcome back. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Baba. It's good to be back. This clash between two sides that are looking to get off the mark in the tournament, and both of them very, very happy with the decisions. Singapore wanted to bat first, and when Kuwait won the toss and asked them to bat, they were more than happy to make sure they take first strike.
We are starting with a bit of pace straight away. Candice with the new ball. Gets it to curl away ever so slightly. Once again, breeze is a massive factor on this ground, Dennis. Hopefully, Candice will be able to use that. Her natural movement is inward into the right-hander, but because of the breeze, that first ball kind of drifted away.
Yeah, very true. And big decision here. Kuwait have to back it up with some good bowling and batting. I think the other thing you'll notice here is really very little pace in her bowling. That's why the keeper is already standing up.
Yes, the captain of Kuwait, Amna, was really kind enough to have a brief chat. Oh, sent back, early trouble there. She's made her ground just in time as Soumya. Never a run there.
There was really no run, and that's something that the captain Safina Mahesh spoke about at the toss. When I was having a chat with her, she said that they've had a couple of needless runouts that have always put them in a spot of bother. Hoping that they have corrected that. The entire team should be both lines so that they're on the same network. Get one CUG for the whole team.
Wayward left alone. You mentioned in terms of communication, and Dennis, you having played at the highest level as well, you'd understand so much of that communication is also down to how the team gels in off the field.
You're very right, Baba. It's always about the telepathy that you have, the both of you.
Trouble here. Square leg arm says out of here. Needless run out, and the series continues. Looks like the captain has put her head down and she'll be walking back.
Yeah.
Catastrophic start.
Had a wicket out of nothing for Kuwait. Was no run again. In the previous ball, they had sort of had a chat together, probably about the running between the wickets. Now they lose their captain. It's a touch and go. The moment she played the ball, she just sort of took off. But the captain was never ready for that single. Unless she had put in a dive, there was no way the umpire was never going to raise her finger.
What's surprising, Dennis, if she could say no to the last one, she could have said no to this one as well. Just forced that single and paid the price.
Yeah, the problem is that her partner had already committed to run and taken off. I think in the moment the captain just sacrificed herself. Any other selfish batter would have turned down the run.
Massive scalp. This for Kuwait here. Having won the toss, bowling first, they have struck early. Beat on the field, that'll give them a lot of boost.
I'll tell you, Baba, that my junior coach, when I was learning the game, every time he would get run out, he would tell you to go and cry because you've played for the other team. So runouts were never acceptable in our junior teams.
And you got to cry alone. Off the leading edge, but hardly any pace on that shot. So just one.
I think what really hurts is that from the bowlers of Candice Diaz is very harmless. So for you to get out like that is so painful. Most times you want to get out on your fault, but bowling from her, I haven't seen anything in that first over to sort of put you under the threat.
Yes, just a couple of wides and one successful run taken in that first over. Into the first set of 6 balls. Singapore right now already 3 for 1. And that's the skipper. Now taking the new ball from the south end. Amna Sharif with her right arm off spin.
She had a big smile on her face after winning the toss. Because first she said it's the first toss I've won the whole tournament. And she's hoping that those are the signs that today will be a good day for her team, Kuwait.
She's waited half the week to win the toss and won the toss to bowl first here. Oh, straight away some spin, missing leg stump.
Yeah, make a valid point there. Teams usually win the toss. They always want to win the toss because they want to bat first. But for Amna, she was very, very happy because she said she backs her batters to chase down any total.
Straight away with the spin on offer there. Should just be one.
I don't think they'll try to take a second after losing their first wicket when they run out. It's just that the running between the wickets is always really about communication. If your calls are not loud enough and you're just assuming that maybe there's a second run, that's when you get in trouble.
And normally in this game, once you start assuming, it really bites you, especially with running between the wickets here. You can anticipate always, but not assume. Just with the kind of spin we have seen already. Might not be a bad decision here to bowl second. If you can put just a par score, the spinners will come into play in the second innings as well.
Yeah, very much. And I think Kuwait already on that plan. That probably came up something. You could see Amna there was interested in it, but when she realized that the keeper didn't take the ball cleanly, just turned down the appeal.
Yes, in terms of action, Amna has a little bit of a jump as she begins. Oh, again, very close to the outside edge. She's been bowling tight lines here.
Very, very tidy, but my worry is that the keeper is not collecting the ball cleanly. When you keep doing that, you'll also miss the wicket-taking opportunity.
Just taking her eyes off the ball early, you believe?
Again, a touch and go. Another tight run there for Singapore. I don't think that is advised by the coach.
Yes, they're living dangerously here. Top start from Amna Sharif with her off breaks. 4 for 1 after 2. Terrific cricketing facility here at the Selangor Turf Club with the equestrian facility right next to them. 6 pitches that they have maintained brilliantly. We are playing on pitch number 4 and they're using one more, pitch number 6, 2 to the left of where we are right now. Both of them are black soil. Candice will continue. Yes and no once again. Could be tight. Direct throw. Direct throw would have perhaps had a shot. It missed the stumps and hit Candice instead. Oh, she's down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is here from Singapore, but I think this is very, very suicide running, and they're just leaving by luck. That was definitely out by a mile, but the ball missed the stumps completely, and unfortunately took out the knee of Candice.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Always an impact like that just jams up the bony part, and hence the movement becomes really restricted. You can argue she got a bad bounce.
Yeah, the throw wasn't very good as well. All she could have done, because she was way out of her crease by a mile. One bounce throw right on top of the stumps, she was gone either way.
Especially when you're this close, try and throw it direct. That gives the best possible chance to the bowler or the fielder. Bit of a delay here, and rightly so, because Candice must be feeling that pain. More importantly, she's one of their primary bowlers. So plenty of bowling remaining for her.
Yeah, if the ball takes out the meaty part of the knee, then sometimes there's just that can be sorted out by some deep freeze. But if it gets the bone, then it will be so difficult for you. She's running in, so you feel so much pain running in. So you sort of focused on the pain and also trying to make sure you ball in the right area, and the two things just never work together.
Especially as a medium pace bowler, Dennis, you would know how important is that braced front leg as they land. But if you get hit right on that kneecap, that job becomes doubly difficult. Great news for Kuwait. Here, Candice is up.
Yeah, Candice is a tough one. She won't back away now. She knows they have the advantage. 2 times lucky for Singapore, I must say. I don't think there will be third time lucky. She gets a bear hug from the person who threw the ball. I'm sure Candice must be thinking in her head, I'll deal with you later at the hotel. But for now, we have some business to take care of. Don't think Singapore need these suicidal runs. It's too early in the game for them to be running like that.
Oh, bowls a beauty right after being hit on the kneecap, being the outside edge by a whisker.
See, for Candice in this moment, you play with the adrenaline and the momentum. Sometimes you won't feel the pain now. Maybe later on when you go back to the room. But for now,
Yes, you're right, Dennis. What they got to avoid here is running with the shot. I think that's something that is hurting their cause, the Singapore batters.
they're not hitting the ball with power. If you hit it with power, and then it's difficult for the fielders to pick up, but you're just nudging the ball.
There you go. Yes and no once again. And gladly for them, no was the dominant call.
Yeah, for example, in that moment, Anushka lines up the ball well, but she's just tapping the ball to the fielder. She was able to go through the shot with some power. It also challenges the fielder, and then that creates the opportunity for you to take the run. But I'll tell you, Baba, what a sight we have this afternoon. The races are on, and the cricket is amazing.
Off the outside edge, we have seen that before from Candice's bowling, but no pace on the shot, nor on the ball for it to race across. Couple of runs taken. Good positive running there.
And again, the running between the wickets. You watched it very closely. Anushka was ball watching on the other end. She didn't realize that Sumaya had called for a second one. Started off very, very late. Just trying to understand what exactly could be the problem for them.
Yeah, floats that one onto the stumps. Candice recovers well after being struck on the knee. She's bowled 2 tight overs with this new ball here. 3 done. Sedate start here. 7 for 1. Yes, a total of 5 permanent ground staff to continuously prepare this ground, keep it ready, maintain those 6 pitches here at the Selangor Turf Club. It must be really difficult, Dennis, in these conditions to have a lush green outfield all year. Commendable work by the ground staff. Here is Sharif once again. That was there for a good little glance. Only got half a bat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's just not enough power in the shots from Sumaya and Anushka. Some of those balls they can easily put away.
Bit of spin back, what we have seen consistently from Amna Sharif. Also for this ball, she went really wide of the crease.
Yeah, Amna leading the charge for her team.
Somya drags it onto the stumps here. Little too late on the ball, and with the ball spinning back in, she had no chance whatsoever. Double strike now for Kuwait after winning the toss inside this power play.
Yeah, the captain, Amna Sharif, this time with the wicket. Somna going back on a fuller ball. And in the end, not enough room for her to play the shot. Just ends up deflecting the ball to her own stumps. And Singapore lose their second wicket. Very tidy line and length here from the captain, Amna Sharif. And Somna cardinal sin for her to go back on a ball that is already full. Just no room for her whatsoever to try and cut the ball. And see the celebration there from the captain. She knows what it means. Because now they have Singapore on the ropes. They're 7 for 2 after 3.3.
New batter in Vinu here. She's one of the top order batters who likes to play along the carpet, and I think that is what the doctor must be ordering for Singapore. 7 for 2. They need a partnership and a good one.
The assignment is simple for Singapore. There's such a long way to go in the first innings. They can just, buckle down and try and milk the bowling nice and easy. They should get themselves in a good position.
Again, very late on the ball, these Singapore batters. I can understand the ability to pick, spin, and play it on the back foot, but when it's so full, doing that is risky.
I don't know if they had a look of what Japan did against the slow bowling options of Myanmar. Use your feet and just keep putting them on pressure.
Cut off the back foot. This is a fast outfield. It's always been fast all day. Diving effort in vain. First boundary then of this innings. Vinu transferring the weight on the back foot. Square cuts that one.
Yeah, very good shot there from Vinu. Got in position very early. The ball had the pace. An effort there from the fielder, but she was a little too late. And they get their first boundary. Singapore. That's what we've been talking about, Baba. That says enough in the game for you. The very good batting track. All you need to do is just buckle it down and give yourself time. Give yourself a chance. And then you'll be able to score runs.
This is a mighty effort now. Candice Dias got injured in the previous over. Will be bowling a third over on the trot. Yorks the batter. Very lucky Anushka Tomar that was not on the stumps.
Yeah, Anushka again missed out on that full ball, but she just doesn't get the connection.
At the moment, looking to take the cover of the ball. So it's been two extremes from Anushka. Either it's been the softest of hands or the wildest of hoiks. There you go, just trying to muscle the ball and not looking to time the ball.
Yeah, another swing and miss here from Anushka. But she's far from the ball, so she's hitting down the wrong line. Anything, if she's going to get something on that, she would just be an outside edge.
You can see that Kuwait, they're charged up right now. They know one more wicket and they'll be comfortably ahead in this game. Has that carried? Perhaps it did. Backward point fielder was the one who dived previously on the boundary. Looked like she was in a good position too. Just couldn't hold on to that, Maria.
Yeah, you look at the chance again. That's what I said, that she's so far from the ball. The only thing she can get is an outside edge. Maria just couldn't hold on to it. Not a simple chance, but you can see the frustration.
Tomer for the first time gets something off the bat but finds the fielder.
And it's right now looking like the business.
That's a better strike in the gap too. Looked like she went on one knee to play that. Strikes that comfortably. The ball just stops before the boundary. Couple of runs.
Yeah, a good extension of the arms from Anushka. She's been looking to go through the coverage on. Stem and trying to go for a conventional drive. Just decided to go with the butt slap.
Yes, and for the first time, it looked like she was taking her weight towards the ball. Yeah, that's not working for her right now.
Yeah,
Terrific.
The thing is, Baba, is that the leg is one way and the ball is the other way. So it always tell you your foot goes where the ball is, and that's how you can play on top of the ball. So that's why she continuously keeps missing the ball. 5 overs gone, 13 for 2, Kuwait. Singapore. The bowling change for Kuwait. The captain takes herself out of the attack, and it will be Mariam Omar bowling for Kuwait.
Yes, another off spinner then. That was just bowled seam up. Good little variation from Mariam to begin with.
I think Kuwait have understood that they just need to stay around the bat. If they can be able to bowl in those good areas, they'll get rewarded.
Struck firmly. That's the area Vinu got her first boundary. And this time the fielder tracks it down. Brilliant effort. Missed out on a catch in the previous over. Maria this time tracks it down.
Yeah, Maria with a strong team effort. She doesn't give up the chase. But again, very well played. Top quality stuff there from Maria. This is an excellent outfield here at the STC. So you cannot be afraid to dive.
Vinu so far has been picking off that shot of length well. Cross-batted shot there. No spin whatsoever from Mariam Omar because she's not looking to spin it either. It's just about bowling tight.
Exactly, and it's just not enough to trouble any batters. And that's the thing, that if you hang around long enough, you get your rewards for it. So you don't need to panic.
Maybe this is the over that can free up Anushka Tomar as well. It's harmless off spin, only 2 fielders out. See if you can connect one. Dead bats that one.
Something I've really noticed about the teams is that every time they make those bowling changes, that's where things get unrivaled. So sometimes you need to stick to the same plan. Unfortunately,
gone through the fielder, not enough legs on it to go all the way. And again, good work to track it down, keep it down to just 1. They're charged up on the field.
Yeah, what I've liked in that moment is that the 2 batters also just never decided to take a chance on stealing another run. They immediately said no when the fielder got to the ball. That's more like it. That's better communication.
17 with the ball remaining in this power play. You would like to believe had they gotten to 2025 with just 1 wicket down, that would have been still fine. Misfield from Maria. Hands on her head. She's not happy with that effort. Vinu gets another run in that point region. With that, that's the power play done and dusted. You'll have to say that belongs to Kuwait. After winning the toss, bowling first, they've got Singapore 18 for 2.
Yeah, Kuwait doing a wonderful job inside that power play. The first wicket, a gift for them, a run out for the captain, who had to depart for nothing. And then later on, the captain, Amna Sharif, picking the other wicket in the game. So it's 2 wickets down for Singapore in this power play. What can they do from here on?
And starting the first over after the fielding restrictions will be right arm medium pace of Maria Jasvi. She's been in action on the field, dropped a catch, made a really good save, has had a fumble so far. So the ball has been following Maria. It could be her day, one way or the other.
Yeah, Maria is all action. Let's see what she can do with the ball. Then you can see the difference again. Kuwait have decided to go to the defense. They've backed off immediately. I think now that becomes easier for Singapore to try and hit the ball into those gaps and run as hard as possible.
Yes, if Maria has seen enough of Vinu Kumar here, I won't be surprised if she errs on the fuller side than on the shorter side here. Well bowled. That is exactly the length you should be bowling to Vinu Kumar. Doesn't look like a batter who gets fully forward, almost plays from center when the balls are pitched up. He should be fuller.
Yeah, but what we saw in the first game for Japan, when they had Myanmar on the ropes, they just never backed down. They only started defending, I think, after the 15th over.
Yeah, there you go. It wasn't short enough. Vinu was just rooted onto the back foot. So I think that length from Maria is spot on here. They've done their homework. What you can also do is perhaps come a little straighter. Now you've got some protection on the onside, deep backward square, long on. So you can follow the stumps. Gone! Pulled off the back foot straight to Amna. She's been hell-bent on playing everything off the back foot. Played this one in the air to that short mid-wicket fielder. Captain won't make a mistake. 3rd wicket down now. Singapore in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, just never had enough room for her to pull off that pull shot. Binu, she was looking good, but she won't be lasting any longer. She will have to depart from 8 runs. And Maria, who's been very, very busy, makes some amends by picking up a wicket. And see again, didn't pick up the length early enough and just never created enough room for her to sort of put the ball away. But wasn't the best of deliveries. But that won't matter because in the book they write wicket. And Maria is now amongst the wickets. Singapore are 18 for 3.
Yes, Captain Amna Sharif nursing a cold there. She's not been short of any energy whatsoever.
It's a very worrying signs here for Singapore. Now, a new batter has come in for Singapore. We're hoping that Qatar can sort of try and put some pressure on her for Kuwait and sort of try and put some pressure on her.
To the new batter, once again, you would want to be on the fuller side. In fact, digs that one shorter, does Maria.
Yeah, very, very short. The length, not yet very good here for Maria. Rameshka Badri, the new batter for Singapore.
That's better. Challenging now the inside half of the bat.
Yeah, so much better there for Maria. That's the area she needs to operate in. And if you're going to bowl there, it's easier for the captain to give you protection. But if you're bowling short, that's why I think they've put the two fielders that are square of the wicket. But if you're bowling in that length, just bring the long off and long on up in the circle. Then just pile more pressure on the batter.
Guides that one away straight to the inner circle through the offside. Maria Jasvi has a wicket made into show for. 18 for 3, 7 done. More off spin. Or should I say, slow off breaks from Mariam here. Dennis, good time to discuss what should be the game plan for Singapore from here on in.
I think the plan for Singapore, there are two things that we know that are for sure. Wicket, very good. The wicket is very good for batting, and if you're not afraid, you'll be able to score as many runs as possible. So I would rather they don't bat themselves into a shell, just continue expressing themselves.
Flat bats that one straight to the fielder. Spirited effort there. The reason I asked that question, normally at this point of time, you would like to believe that they should bat normally, but their normal is quite abnormal. Plenty of dot balls.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the partnerships for now are partnerships of dot balls. I think sometimes the problem is that you start to think that you think about survival first rather than being proactive and think about staying positive and scoring runs.
Back to the bowler, taken confidently, soft dismissal. After spending half an hour out there in the hot sun, Anushka Tomar has chipped one to the bowler and will walk back.
Yeah, Anushka Tomar, that dot ball pressure getting to her, just ends up giving a simple handshake back to the bowler. Wasn't the strongest of catches, and Mariam Omar holds on to it, taking a catch off her own bowling to leave Singapore now 4 wickets down for only 18 runs in 8 overs. See that again on the replay, just tossed up in the slot, but Anushka just doesn't have enough power in the shot to sort of threaten Omar, who takes the simplest of catches. Sometimes when they are hit back to you like that, you have only one option, and that option is taking them.
And normally you back the slow bowlers to be good of their own bowling. Mariam has done everything right. 2 overs, 1 for 5 for her. She's complimented the off spin of the captain too. Maria to continue. Bit of a dead bat once again. No matter what the situation is, Dennis, that block there from Rashmika won't really translate a lot of confidence in the dugout.
Yeah, that's why I said that Badri and the rest of the team just need to be positive, stay on the front foot. Because when Maria bowls, there are so many options for you to score runs. Just push the ball down the ground, you still get a single. That's how you stay positive.
Again, hit straight to the fielder there.
Yeah, so instead of just trying to instead of playing with a dead bat, just take your arms through the shot and then you pick up an easy single.
And as you mentioned, no positive movement in the crease so far. They haven't come down the track. They haven't gone really back either. It's been playing from the crease.
Because every time you play with the dead bat, you sort of put yourself under pressure. You, in your head now, you're starting to count. I've blocked 3 balls. I've blocked 4 balls. I've blocked 5. I need to go to something, and then that's when you get yourself out. So the bowling for now is not out of this world. You can still score runs off it. That's why I said, as long as you remain positive, the runs will come.
Instead of being positive, they're going the other way. They're being negative right now. Rashmika, 6 balls yet to get off the mark. Hit in the air, couple of dot balls, and the rash shot comes. Rashmika will join the long list of batters who have let their team down here. Half the side in the hut, not even half the overs done.
Maria, with the luck so far for Kuwait, she's picked up 2 wickets and is yet to concede a run. But she's been in the business of Badri. This time, Badri just doesn't get any connection whatsoever on the ball. Ends up poking a catch, the simplest of them all, to the field that covers. That's why I was talking about Baba, that most times you just keep blocking and then you start to think to yourself that I need to do something. You end up offering a shot on the ball that you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, if you block 3 balls, might as well block the 4th one.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no need to rush. Because every time you lose a wicket, you just pile the pressure on everyone else who's coming in. It's now 18 for 3.
Roshni Ramesh walks into bat with her side tottering, in deep, deep trouble. She hits it hard enough in the gap. That is.
I told you that's as simple as that. You sort of get off the mark and then stay in the game. You've just come in. Once you get off the mark, get the blood flowing in the legs, you build your confidence naturally. So that's all that they need to do, Singapore. Maybe a tricky situation with half of the team back in the heart, but we've seen teams in these situations before, and they make a very good comeback. So
Amna Sharif taking just enough time to make sure the angles are correct on the field.
because from the shot that was played, Kuwait realizing later they decided to bring the fielder up. If they had done that a bit earlier, when the fielder comes up, you try and play over the top, so you keep the fielding team guessing as well and playing on their minds.
5 for 19 after 9 overs. This has been an uphill struggle for Singapore, being put into bat first by the opposition skipper. They are finding it tough. Devika and Roshni, they got to find some inspiration out there and really stitch a partnership. Runs almost secondary right now. Off the leading toe. Once again, that gives the opportunity for Maria to dive, slide. She's loving it here at the Selangor Turf Club with the outfield that they've got.
Yeah, she loves the slide. Every time she's chasing after a ball, She's putting in a slide.
Looks very natural with the slide as well, which is actually a difficult thing to get used to.
I think I like the approach here from Devika. She's not going to come here and hang around. I mean, Roshni Ramesh is looking more positive than everyone else who has come before her.
Sometimes what that does, that energy then rubs off to the non-striker. You'd want them to bat in a pair, attack in a pair as well. Oh, popped out. She was there ready for that catch. It hit her palms, perhaps hard hands there, Dennis.
Yeah, hard hands, but not a difficult catch because it was over her head. And Khadija Khalil nearly took a blind. I thought she was going to have it on her second opportunity. But unfortunately, she couldn't hold on to it. Those are not very easy to take.
Also, as you mentioned some time back, was struck firmly as well. So not the easiest of grabs. Terrific take from the wicketkeeper with how low that stayed after pitching. Suchita.
That's a difference from Roshni and Ramesh. Roshni Ramesh just hitting the ball with some conviction.
Wait for it. Oh, the slide didn't come this time around. Maria keeps it down to 1.
I was waiting for it for sure. I think one of the things that we always again picked up from our junior cricket was that halfway stage, we'll come back to that conversation after this drinks break. The situation right now, Singapore are 24 for 5.
Five down for 24 and on the mat. Singapore having put into bat. And Kuwait will be hoping they can replicate the good work done in the first 10 overs and really go for the kill from here on in. I've still got Dennis here with me. Dennis, it looks like we'll have some more spin.
Yeah, Baba spin is what has put Singapore in the position they are in. But again, also because the batters are not very, very strong. So if you give them the medium pacers, they can sort of work with that pace. But with the spin, it means that they have to generate their own power.
We'll have to wait for it, but looks like Mariama Haider. She's got a slightly round arm action. So expect the balls to be darting into the right-hander. Round arm, but still tossed up. It's a kind of action, Dennis, as a batter, you need to get used to it. There's a bit of hop, skip, and then arms everywhere, and then the ball comes in. Hit powerfully, hit in the gap too. Long on will be a mere spectator. Positive strike, that was too slow, went on the back foot, puts it away.
Yeah, that's more like it. That's the power there of Roshni Ramesh. Since she came in, she's not hitting the ball with any kindness. That's what the rest of the people needed to do. Let's sort of challenge the fielders as well. Because I'll tell you what will be disappointing for Singapore is that I haven't seen anything in the bowling for Kuwait that can really leave you 28 for 5.
She's now making a habit of this. Back-to-back boundaries. Once again, how confidently Roshni Ramesh has used the depth of the crease. Didn't commit to the flight early, went back, took all the time in the world and pulled it with a straight bat.
Yeah, Roshni now auditioning for a higher batting slot because she's been able to find back-to-back boundaries. Again, good use of the crease for her. Goes back. That gives her enough room and power to free her arms. And she picks a boundary in the same position.
Dennis, normally I'm a massive advocate for flight. But this amount of flight invites this kind of stroke play that needs to bowl touch flatter.
That's why I said that Singapore, when they go back and watch this game again, they will feel like they were unfair to themselves because there's not so much in the bowling from Kuwait to leave you railing at 32 for 5.
She's doubled down on the flight actually. That's wide of long off. 3 boundaries after drinks. What striking this is from RR here.
Yeah, I'm loving Ramesh. She's taking her chance, and until that ball that has her name on it comes, she's going to be out there in the middle doing the business for the team.
Amna Sharif having a word with Mariama Haider. I don't know what she told her last time. The ball was even more looped up. She's bowling moon ball after moon ball right now. Now gap on the onside. Should be 4 on the trot. Outstanding ball striking this is from Ramesh here. Uses the crease again, finds the fence.
I'll tell you, after this game, Ramesh will be batting in a different position. She's come out here with a hot blade, and she's been able to find 4 boundaries off the first 4 balls of this over from Haider. I don't know what inspired this bowling change, that maybe the captain should have brought herself back to just try and wrap up the tail.
As it turns out, Dennis, they have doubled their score. Where they were post that drinks break, they're still 5 down, but at least that 40 now looks a lot better.
Yeah, Ramesh now has Haider on toast.
Again, a bad ball. She hasn't split the gap. This time around, oh, the misfield. Make it 5 boundaries in that over after drinks. So often after a break, it actually aids the fielding team. This time around, it's the batting team.
Very good shot. Again, the power in the shot is what caused the faults. Omar completely missing the ball at the boundary. There's no room for error when you're at the boundary. 5 boundaries. A very wonderful collection there for Roshni Ramesh and for Singapore as well. 45 for 5 after 11 overs. Baba, I'm going to start charging for my consultancy. I told you, as long as Singapore go out there and they're very, very positive, Despite being 5 wickets down, they will get the runs. There's nothing in that bowling to get you out.
And then there is everything on this surface to aid the batters. Even bounce, not a lot of lateral movement unless somebody really gives it a rip like Mariam did. Looks like another new bowler and another left arm option, is it? We'll find out.
Yeah, just that one over has completely brought the game back in the favor of Singapore.
Yes, they're going for Priyada Murli, vice captain of the team. Looks like she'll be rolling a few leg breaks here. Tell you what, Roshni from the non-strikers end will be eager to get on strike.
Yeah, but I also tell you what, Baba, I don't know why they took Maria out of the bowling attack because she was doing well. So you bring on Haida, who goes for 21, just the one over that she bowled.
Devika get a single. Good on you, Devika. Brings the set batter, the striker, back onto the strike. She's somebody who's loved the flighted slow spin so far. 5 boundaries in the previous over. If she can replicate even half of it, they will be well on their way to that magic number 100.
Yeah, completely no pressure now on Devika. All she has to do is run the other side and let Ramesh continue with the carnage. It's something I told you, Baba, that the bowling changes in this tournament is what has completely let down teams.
Don't mind this from Priyada, making Roshni wait. Moves in a good position. There is a deep backward square leg, and thankfully she had cover. So the misfield doesn't really cost them. Just one.
That's what happens, that now the pressure is also on the fielders. They're thinking about not making mistakes, and those mistakes are helping Singapore. But earlier on, everything looked very nice and easy. So there was really no pressure on anyone. I think somewhere there, Khadija Khalil is thinking to herself, if I'd only taken that chance.
It was a difficult one.
You can even see the conviction in the shots being played by Devika. There's a bit more confidence, more urgency. Difficult chances, but they say catches win you games. If you don't take them.
Absolutely. And when it finds the middle of your palms, you got to take them. It was the attempted googly, just went straight on there. Five boundaries in the previous over, none in this one of Priyada Murli. Her first, 5 for 48. Finally, Singapore have got to move on.
That's what happens, and that's when you have a coach who's as experienced as Manpreet Singh. They understand the assignment. I think during that break, like we mentioned in the first game, the breaks work for the team that is not doing well. And I think a simple chat with him just sort of had to remind the girls that it's nothing. They are not demons in the wicket. They are not demons in the bowling. Just go out there and do your thing.
Yes, you mentioned it right. Manpreet Singh is captaining the men's team as well. He's one of their best players in that particular team. And he's been with this women's outfit now for a couple of years. What's incredible, Dennis, is now back in Singapore, they've got a real pathway for the women cricketers. They've got their own Sunbird League that happens and really gives these players a platform. It's a T10 format league that they play there. Amna Sharif back. I believe that kind of T10 tournament is what produces batters like Roshni Ramesh. There's an All-Stars Under-19 league that goes on there, and to go with a few academy tournaments. So they're trying to get as much as match practice for these girls. Early loud call of yes, good aggressive running. This is what we were talking about. That energy from Ramesh is now rubbing off on Devika.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Devika, I told you she has only one assignment. Get to the other end. Ramesh will do the punishing.
What's also important is that these women cricketers are gunning for a more professional pathway in Singapore. Round the wicket to the tall hitter. Goes on with the angle. Good thinking.
Yeah, very good thinking here from the captain. Just to make sure that she's not allowing Ramesh freer arms, so giving her no room to work with.
Yes, most of these women, they are really balancing working full time and playing cricket. The ones who are not working are still in school and college, so they got to manage studies. Sound of the bat from Roshni, just music to our ears here.
The only way Kuwait can deal with Roshni is by just getting off the strike.
And with that, 50 up. It's been a tough one, but they're getting there. Finally, some control back with Kuwait after those 5 boundaries that were stuck.
Yeah, that's why I thought that Amna Sharif should have bowled earlier. The over that was bowled and went for 21, that should have been bowled by herself immediately after that drinks break.
There is Maria once again diving around.
Because if you put it in context, the first 10 overs went for 24, and then the 11th over went for 21.
Yes, 5 down for 51, looking a lot better now, Singapore, after 13 overs.
I'll tell you for a fact that I think I've been very, very impressed by the ACC Women's Premier Cup 18-team tournament. That's no mean feat. And kudos to all the teams and the countries for making sure that they invest in their teams and get them here. Because even the cricket has looked amazing. The application from all the teams has been very, very good.
Yes, the grounds, the facilities, background staff, the officials, they have worked tirelessly day in, day out to make sure this has been a massive success. Yes, Cricket Malaysia really putting their name up for hosting such important events. And now by hosting 18 nations, they have perhaps unlocked another level. In the gap, long off needs to do a lot of work. By the time she got to the ball, easy couple.
Yeah, very, very confident now, Deepika. That's it. That's what we were saying about the other 5 wickets. We're just nudging the ball instead of putting some power in the shots, and then you get it through the gap like that.
Important now, Kuwait hold on to their nerves here. Don't go searching for wickets. Don't leak boundaries. Just keep it tight. Let them come to you.
I think Malaysia cricket is standing out in the associate world for having the facilities that can be able to host an 18-team tournament. They just hosted the under-19 World Cup, so
threw her, bit of spin on offer. Looked like she went into overdrive once she found the rhythm. Just looking to overhit that ball, gone through bat and pad. Devika is out of here.
Yeah, dragged out of the crease here by Omar. and trying to play a similar drive down the ground. Brilliant bowling there by Omar to get rid of Deepika, who had put in a very good partnership with Roshni. She will depart for only 6, but I think the appreciation will be for their partnership between the two. Has helped Singapore get to 53 for 6 after 13.4.
And let's see what the lower order batters can contribute to with a set batter already there. It's Ria Bhasin who's joined Rashmika. She too is a right arm off spinner herself, so should be able to really line up properly against Mariam Omar. If there's one thing I can perhaps generalize in terms of the Singapore batters, it's their lack of picking length, perhaps.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Baba. I think it's just been Ramesh who's picked up the length very, very quickly. Realizes that she can use her crease to generate the power. But everyone else has been a bit poor, challenged by either the ball is tossed up in the air, so they're not sure whether they should come forward or stay back. But after 14 overs, Singapore is 53 for 6. I think now this is the opportunity for Kuwait to try and seize the initiative, take back control. And they've gone to Maria, who bowled a very good spell, picked up 2 wickets.
Yes, as you mentioned, you got to know which batter you need to be defensive against and whom to attack. Clearly, against Roshni Ramesh, they should be looking to give her 1 as early in the over and then attack Ria. Struck powerfully, but straight to the fielder.
I hope Ria knows that if anyone is going to get run out, it's charged to be herself. She was way down the track, very unnecessary, because the ball had gone straight to the fielder.
Oh, this is good. Amna Sharif now playing tricks with Roshni Ramesh. She's kept the square leg and fine leg vacant. She's asking her to play across the line against Maria Jasvi, who usually bowls just outside off. And Maria sticking to that plan too. I think this is great captaincy.
Yeah, very, very good captains there for Amna, realizing that they don't have someone at extra cover. And considering that Maria has consistently been bowling on that offside, that could be a boundary opportunity for Ramesh. So she deploys an extra cover.
Oh, also what that does, that plays on the mind of Roshni Ramesh. Should I be shuffling? Should I be playing on the onside? You might get into a double mind and hoik it as she's done so. Just over that point fielder. Sweeper comes around, 2 more.
And exactly that's the plan, that if there was no one that side, that ball could have easily raced away to the boundary. Maria just needs to keep that control of wicket to wicket. Don't allow Roshni to free her arms, because she has already shown what she can do when she does that.
I know she's bowling already not with a lot of pace, but if she can further take out pace. No pace on the shot, will just be 1.
I'm sort of interested from the reaction of the fielders. Instead of anyone being taking responsibility for it. It looked like he was saying, "That's your ball, not mine."
Yes, the call should be always mine. Back with Ria. Amna now getting a square leg fielder on the boundary for Ria so that Maria can target the stumps ever so slightly to the new batter. Yeah, gets tighter onto the stumps. In this over, the communication between the captain and the bowler has been spot on, Dennis.
Yeah, Ramesh needs to understand that for Singapore to be able to have a chance of putting on a big total, she has to hang in there for a very, very long time and be available at the back end. We saw what Ayaka did for Japan when she was available at the end. So right now, she should not be having any other ideas in her mind.
That's why that fielder was pushed back on the onside so that Maria can target the stumps. She does so, single being taken. More importantly, Roshni won't be on strike.
Yeah, Roshni didn't do her math. Shouldn't have taken that single. Maybe just turn it down so that you can take responsibility the next over.
6 down for 57, down to the last 5 overs now.
If I was Amna Sharif, I'd be bowling myself from the other end because you'll be bowling to the weaker batter.
Instead, Amna looking to finish the quota of the 5th bowler here. She's gone back to the leg spinner, Priyada.
Risky business, but let's see if the risk will pay off.
Nobody deep, square on the offside.
Wow.
Bit of drift and plenty of spin as we have seen so far in this second game. Just after that first over, she looks in a much better rhythm here, Dennis. Cover fielder did well, but can't stop the single. That brings Roshni Ramesh on strike.
If there was any sort of communication between the two batters, because the fielders are hanging on the 30 on the ring, just use your soft hands, drop the ball, and then take off.
Priyada Murli has been on point in this over, landing it on a coin in this over so far and getting that purchase.
Had a good battle there out in the middle, Ramesh and Priyada.
Top stuff. That was certainly a boundary, half a stop, and she saved 3.
Now, I don't think for all the work that she's put in, Ramesh is going to take a risky single. So she turns it down immediately. The right call.
Yes, Khadija, the fielder who dropped Ramesh earlier on, but at that occasion saved runs for the team. Good work. Once again, ball seems to be following her in this particular over.
Yeah, Omal putting in a good shift in covers because there's no protection behind her. If the ball goes through her, it will just rest to the boundary.
$60 up now on the board. Last ball of this over. You would like to think from here on in, if you're facing the last ball, you're not Roshni, go for it. Looks to go for it, but only along the carpet. Once again, she will keep Roshni off strike. I think at some point of time, they got to think about this, Singapore. 16 done, 61 for 6. As the afternoon heat continues to take a toll on the players, it will be Amna Sharif to finish her quota of overs, realizing that we are into the Calypso hour in this innings here. And if she can start the last 4 overs well, it will swing back the momentum in their favor. The captain of Kuwait, Amna Sharif, bowling to the set batter, Roshni Ramesh, batting on 33 from 24. She'll continue bowling from round the wicket and take the ball away from the hitting arc of Roshni. Starts with a Yorker. Top start.
Yeah, it's now the responsibility of the captain just to make sure they keep Ramesh quiet for the remaining few overs. If Ramesh is wise, she should know that Amna is bowling her final over. Maria, the other interesting bowler, also has one more over left. So there will be 2 overs where you can be able to score as many runs as possible.
I wonder if Amna Sharif might just toss this one up with 2 dot balls. Might just try and toss this one up just outside off on the stumps and pushed in the gap towards deep backward square. Run taken.
We saw that happening to Sai Sudasan in the IPL a couple of times. The difference that this time it doesn't go to the stumps.
Yes, normally sweaty palms is what you can put it down to.
Yeah, but the advantage here for Ramesh is that she will be off strike for the next 3 balls. So if any disaster happens, it won't be including her.
Until unless it's a run out. Over the wicket, struck firmly, but straight to that cover fielder. Dot balls are a cardinal sin once you head into the last 4, Dennis.
Yeah, Amna Sharif has led well. But I think she must be feeling that there was a missed opportunity for them just to pin down Singapore.
Long off is further back on the fence. Cuts it down to just 1. Points on the board will mean a lot to Kuwait. Last 3-4 months, their practice has been disrupted due to the war-like situation. So they've been training cautiously at different grounds. Got 3-4 weeks of training just before the tournament, before they flew into Malaysia for this ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. Last ball of this over. Ria punches it straight to the fielder, plays another dot ball in this partnership. 1 for 11 in her quota of 4 overs for the captain Amna Sharif. Job done for her with the ball in hand. Down to the last 18 balls. 63 for 6. Only sort of a positive I can perhaps take out from this batting innings so far, Dennis, A, it has spun consistently. So any runs are still runs on the board. And 2, that the entire core of this Singapore lineup is actually a very, very young core. So don't think they will be little too down and out. Even if they miss out on a par score here, they should be able to pick themselves up, should be able to still keep the energy high.
Yeah, you make a valid point, Baba, and I don't think it's still impossible for them to get 100 runs from here on. because you feel that a couple of at least 6 balls that will go to someone that they can be able to put away. If they could get 21 in an over, why not?
Yeah, should have been this one. This is the 5th bowling option getting through her overs. Oh, could be a no ball. Yeah, already the signal has come from the square leg umpire. And as if Roshni Ramesh needed a second invitation to go after Priyada Murli, she will get a free hit.
Yeah, now she has a license to kill without worrying about getting herself out.
Also, Dennis, because she's batting from the KL Tower end, she will be hitting with the breeze. No sixes all day so far. Perfect time to launch for Roshni Ramesh.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make some changes in the field, adding more protection leg side. I'm thinking for a leg spinner, the protection should be where the ball goes. Big shot loading. And that will go for half a dozen. The first one we've seen today.
Yes, it was on the cards. With the sound breeze on offer, Roshni Ramesh brings down the heavy bat and it kept sailing over long on. They needed that strike. And she's moved on to 40.
I think that's Roshni Ramesh should be a lesson, a life lesson that you need to be positive in life.
Yes, Roshni, the name itself means light. And she's brought light into what has been a dull batting performance from rest of the team.
Yeah,
Singapore.
She scored more than half of the runs the team has already.
Thought that's missed everything. It looks like, yes, there was pads on offer.
Yeah, at a certain point, Singapore was staring down the barrel of a very low total until Roshni Ramesh happened. She's 41 of 30 balls.
Swept and swept with a lot of power as well. And for the first time in the last few overs, Roshni Ramesh will keep the strike.
Yeah, Roshni Ramesh, the worry for me on the other end, she's looking like she's running on fumes already. She's been out there. It's a very hot afternoon.
I beg your pardon, still a ball remaining in this over. So it's up to Ria to ensure that Roshni has the strike into the next over. Yeah, good call from Roshni. Clear call of no. You stay there, mate. Let me take care of the next over. Down to the last 12 balls, 74 for 6.
And see the instruction there from the coach. Just had a sight of there, Manpreet Singh. He just keep telling her that just keep going. I need you to stay in there for the next 12 overs. Do not think about going after the bowling already. Just keep going. The longer you stay in there, the better opportunity we have to get to 100.
Yes, unlike the previous over where Amna Sharif was playing tricks, playing a game of chess with Roshni Ramesh, for this over, it's a lot more conventional. Deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and a sweeper deep on the offside. As I say that, they make a change. Back to the same game of chess. Fine leg, square leg inside the circle. Maria with the ball. Just wide of the bowler. Long off back will keep it down to 1.
I think the trick for Ria would be that she needs to back up. She doesn't need to back up too much, so that she's always another a chance of her coming back for a second.
And a candidate for a non-strikers end run out, perhaps. But you'll take that. Oh, had that gone back onto the stumps, Roshni Ramesh was short of her ground.
You can see what they've done now is they've put the pressure on the fielders as well. They've made them run a bit. They also tired because they're out there in the same sun. So it works both ways. The important thing is to make sure for the next 10 balls, more than half of those should be faced by Roshni.
70% of them, perhaps. Only gone up, not far enough. Will fall short of the long on fielder. Should be 2 on offer. Bit of a fumble there.
Yeah, and that's what I said exactly, Baba. Ria should always be with the mindset that I need to go back to the end and allow Roshni to take responsibility of the strike.
Yes, Ria should hurry up.
Because anyway, they've just lost 6 wickets. So even if there's a run out on her side, the person they want to stay in will still be in there taking responsibility.
Will go over the fielder against the breeze. Doesn't matter, 1 bounce 4. That takes Roshni 1 hit away from what will be a fighting half century.
Yeah, what an inning here from Roshni. Misjudging the ball, Khadija Khalil. Just lands over her head and goes to a boundary. But what an inning from Roshni Ramesh. I'm certain when they go back today, her dinner is sorted by the team. She's dug them out of a very, very deep hole.
Dare I say, because they're getting close on that 100-run mark, she's put them to a par score here.
Now, 4 runs.
In the air, just wide of that point fielder. She's done this before. Back-to-back boundaries for Roshni Ramesh as she celebrates one of the finest knocks of the tournament. As the bat goes up, the team stands up. Spirited knock from Ramesh here.
What a team knock there. It might be an individual milestone, but you can see Roshni is not yet convinced that it's enough. She's still out there in the middle working very hard for her team. She's already tired, gassed out, but she knows that the job is incomplete until they finish the final over.
Last ball, can Maria Jasvi keep it tight? Won't be a run.
Could have been a run, but she's really very tired. You must feel sorry for her. Could have tried to force a run so that she gets herself on strike.
Yeah, that's what she's telling the non-striker. I'm just out of gas here. So Ria, you take up that end and make sure that you give me the last 5 balls.
I tell you, I saw the coach saying exactly the right thing. That's all. I don't try and do anything right now. You need to try and do everything in the final over, but not in this over, in this particular over. Because if you lose a set batter right now, there will be no chance for you whatsoever to try and get to 100.
Again, terrific over rate shown by Kuwait here as Candice starts the last over. Loopy delivery, dipping on Ria. That's it. This is the matchup now that decides where Singapore end up with.
See now pressure on Kuwait to try and hold them back. But unfortunately for them, the batter with the half century will be on strike for the last 5 balls.
So far from what we have seen, the angle from round the wicket was a good option against Roshni Ramesh. Candice will continue to bowl over the wicket, and from over the wicket, looks like Roshni Ramesh is lining them up brilliantly. Ends up being a Yorker there, can't do much. Great execution from Candice.
Even in that case, Ria should have just turned around and tried to force the second one. Even if she gets run out, still 6 wickets now.
Fair call there, Dennis.
Shots.
Ria gets the outside edge at this time of the day. The slide is still on from Maria. This time they get 2 more.
I think we are realizing that let me do some of what Ramesh has been doing. 40 was short for her. She gets that outside edge.
It reminds me to a time in men's cricket when Australian pair of Cameron White and Mike Hussey were batting together. After a couple of doubles, Hussey was straight enough with White. No more twos, mate. She's landed the Yorker again and again in this particular over. Perhaps no matter what happens, Roshni Ramesh has got all the liberty in the world to keep the strike with her for the last two. Takes the full toss, puts it away in the gap. Straight fielder comes around. Second double of this particular over. Going to the last mile, last ounce of energy that Roshni has got right now.
Yeah, she's given everything for the team, Ramesh. Completely gassed out and running on fumes. But there's just one more ball for her to deal with. Then she can take a much needed break.
Won't be a lot, just one of that last ball. But credit to Singapore, credit to Roshni Ramesh for putting up a real fight. After half the side back in the hut inside the first 10 overs, they have come out fighting, posting a score that is only 6 short of 100. Yes, a terrible looking scorecard to begin with. 2 not 7, 8 not 6. Then 56 from 38 from RR has taken them close to that magic number. Only 4 extras from Kuwait, which tells you their bowling was spot on.
Yeah, look at the bowling scorecard. Started very well, Candice and Amna Sharif to pin down Singapore. 2 wickets for Maria Jasper and 2 for Mariam Omar as well, 2 for 12. And a wicket for the captain, Amna Sharif. Only 4 extras, very, very good discipline. But Kuwait will feel like they've missed out on an opportunity of chasing a score that is less than 94 for 6. They had Singapore railing at 24 for 4 inside 10 overs. But in the last 10 overs, Singapore have gone on to find 69 runs, losing just 2 wickets. That has gotten them in a position where they can be able to think about defending this total. They find 94 for 6 in the 20 overs. And when we come back after the break, Kuwait will be looking for 95 from 120 balls.
Welcome back then. Terrific fight put on by Roshni Ramesh. And really, it was her half century that has given Singapore just about a par score here. We saw it was Japan in the morning game defended a score just over 100. Well, Singapore were in touching distance to that magic number. Let's see if they can replicate the feat from Japan and hunt down their first set of points. As far as Kuwait is concerned, there is a bit of spin on offer. There is that pressure of scoreboard. Let's see how they handle that. Here with me in the commentary box, once again, former keeper batter from Uganda, Dennis. Dennis, we have seen the surface. There is a bit of spin on offer for the bowlers. If really they can, Singapore slow bowlers can extract that, these runs might be tricky.
Yeah, I think Singapore gave themselves a big opportunity to try and make this game after recovering from a very poor position. For Kuwait, they will be feeling like they made the work difficult for themselves in the second innings. But here's Ella with the first ball of the second innings.
Yes, her natural swing, her stock ball is the one that comes back into the right-hander. And we saw that straight away. Good late swing, excellent seam presentation. Looks like the leg spinner in the team, Priyada Murali, gets the opportunity with a bat in hand. Ella this time starting from just outside off around that 6-stump region.
Yeah, Priyada Murali with the responsibility, bowled a couple of leg spinners, but that one over that she bowled was really pricey for the team.
Yes, Priyada needs to refocus right now after that little break. Big hooping in swinger once again from Ella. Ends up being a run on the onside. First runs on the board for Kuwait. Only 17 years old, Ella. Still very young in her cricketing journey. That was actually well left. Wide +1.
Yeah, Ella needs to get with the business. She needs to understand they don't have so many runs to work with. So everything has to be on pressure. The plan for Singapore should be to try and get these 6 overs in as quickly as possible, but for as cheap as possible as well.
Soft hands and well played. Played it late underneath her eyes. Shobhan Gomez, the batter there, blocking that ball.
Because if you bowl the first 6 overs very tightly, you just stretch this 95 to look like 110.
You add a couple of wickets to that mix and then it just becomes doubly good. Yeah, she can. Ooh, I thought she could have afforded to go a little wider, but she went a lot wider with that, and clearly outside the wide marker.
Yeah, if I was Singapore, I would borrow the script that Kuwait used. Let's try and use a lot of those slow bowling options up front. They will get the overs done very quickly, but as well they give you an advantage.
Half a stop will be a dot ball. Yes, another impressive thing about that Kuwait bowling innings was just four extras that they gave away. Already, Ella has given away a couple here. So Singapore needs to match that same discipline that Kuwait showed with the ball in hand. And that is that for Ella's first over. 4 for no loss. You're right, Dennis. They have gone to a spinner with this new ball, just like Kuwait did. It is Rashmika Badri to bowl some right arm off spin.
Yeah, I think it's very, very simple from what we've seen in the wicket today. Unless you have a very good medium pacer, there's no point on that wicket to try and bowl medium pace. It's a very good batting track, so everything will just sit up nice and easy for the batters. Let's go to your slow bowling options and hope and pray that they land the balls in the right areas.
Oh, wayward, real gift, and carried to that long on fielder as well. Devika there drops the catch. Serious opportunity, first up of that loopy delivery.
Yeah, Devika, in my opinion, saved the runs, didn't even drop a catch. That was such a poor ball there from Badri. Should have been hit into the race course.
But it wasn't. Was it straight to the fielder? But I know what you're talking about. That ball deserved a boundary. And Devika looked like she's got it covered. Just died on her eventually after hitting her palms. Now work for the deep midfielder. She comes around quickly. Can't stop two there. Rashmika needs to find her lens. Otherwise, this could be expensive.
Yeah, Rashmika, very, very poor. You don't do that with a new ball. Need to give your team the initiative. That's what it is important when you bowl up front.
Yeah, she's dishing out a few pies here with this new ball, and you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, she's just making it very, very easy and playing in the batters.
In the air, but in the gap. No stopping that one. Rashmika looks to be short on form here. That was overpitched.
Yeah, Rashmika, but very, very poor, overpitched. And the batter, Murari, just reaching for it, has enough power in the shot to get to the boundary. He's bowling both sides of the wicket, full tosses on the pads, half volleys on the offside. There's really nothing to challenge the batters.
I don't think the angle was the issue. She's come over the wicket. From over the wicket, you got to be even more crystal clear in terms of the line and length. Because from over the wicket, there is plenty of open gap through the offside as well. Another full toss, another run taken.
I tell you now, Singapore are being their own enemies with the ball. And if I was the captain, I'll be very livid with Badri. When they were batting, they never got those juicy full tosses. And now when they come out to field, serving them on a platter.
With a side of French fries as well. Best ball that she's bowled so far in this over. 8-run over could have been a lot worse for Rashmika Badri. 12 balls done, 12 runs on the board. does dance down the track eventually, but only off the bottom of the bat. Yes, I mean, speaking to the captain of Kuwait just before the game, Amna was the first one to admit that they've got the skills. It's the execution of the skills under pressure is what they have struggled with. Right now, fine leg comes inside the circle.
Yeah, and I think she mentioned, Amna, that she's confident they can take down any total. Maybe if they were looking at 70, they would have been more confident. But at least she knows that her team is good enough to take down any total. That's why they won the toss and decided to ball first.
Firmly struck, but mid-off is ready and in position. Dot ball.
Ella is a bit lucky that Riada hasn't found the gap, but she served up 3 half volleys. Only that the difference is that all of them have gone to fielders.
Will go over the inner ring. Not a lot of power behind that shot. Right now, it looks like these two batters, they're batting against a bit of a bowling machine that's been kept to be bowling half volleys and full tosses, and they're just having a net out there.
Yeah, when you keep feeding the bat like that, you just play the batters in. Because everything for Priyada has been coming out of the middle of the bat. So you just help her grow into the game. You need to challenge her a bit.
There again. Just a little too full here from Ella Brook.
Yeah, the too full. She's searching for a length, which is not there. This is a very good batting wicket.
Not sure how much of control she's got in terms of her run-up, but sometimes when you're bowling that full, Dennis, as a slow medium bowler, you can just bowl slightly behind the crease. And in trying to drag the length shorter, she's actually missed the line. It's a bad ball that's been put away in style. Quickly gets into position, does Murali, finds the fence.
Yeah, that's why it's looking very, very easy. When you keep feeding the batters like that, they will pick any bad length and put it away. You take the 4 runs and the other runs out of that over. It's an easy 6 runs from the over without necessarily taking any big risk. 18 for no loss after 3 overs, Kuwait. Just in the 3rd over, and you can see the batters need some drinks and refreshments. It's not very, very easy to bat out there in this heat. So you sort of feel for the players, they had to be out there in the middle for 20 overs. You only have a 10-minute break for you to come out and start batting.
Yeah, which was their decision, of course. They could have easily batted that first innings. Looks like they're a formidable batting lineup as well. But they chose to first field under the hot sun. Then, I mean, Dennis, you would perhaps know this better. What I have felt after fielding in that first innings, the first thing that stops working is your legs. And as a batter, legs are everything for you.
Yeah, most certainly. Since the tournament started, I've been feeling for the players because it is not that easy. And a couple of times we've seen the batters. I think in the game against Hong Kong, Mariko Hill had to retire because she was dealing with a lot of cramps and couldn't continue. So it's not very easy batting conditions out there. I think sometimes you feel like you need to be dipped in ice so that you can feel alive again and come back for the second innings.
From the KL Tar end, the captain now, Shafina Mahesh. Starts with a bit of a leg cutter that takes the outside edge and should race away. Plenty of bat on offer for that one. And will be another boundary for this batting pair.
Yeah, Gomez and Priyada have come out with intent. When you flash, make sure you flash hard. That came off the outside edge and it was racing to the boundary. The only two fielders outside the circle for Priada just moved the player from long on into the circle. And they've kept someone at deep square leg.
I think that's just following the ball, Dennis. Don't think the plan was wrong. It's an outside edge. You can't cover for that.
Yeah, I think so too as well. Right. Misfields, but won't be costly. I think a lot of the teams most times are more reactive than proactive. But you can't put a field everywhere the ball goes.
Yes, Amna Sharif was proactive in how she kept changing the field around, even when Roshni was going hammer and tongs. Only problem I have with mid-on, mid-off up is Shafina Mahesh won't be able to pitch the ball up. Yeah, she has to then shorten the length, and therein lies the opportunity for these two batters. Yeah, now she'll make the change. She's quickly realized that I need some protection down the ground. So now the mid-on goes to long on, which is a lot better field, I believe.
If you want to be attacking and getting wickets, I don't think working with the long on makes sense.
That one has gone over mid-off, who was very much inside the circle. Once again, over-pitched and dealt with perfectly.
Yeah, Priada doing a good job for the team, the vice captain. Realizing that the fielder who's in the circle is the one at mid-off, so she goes over that side. That's why I was telling you that it's not a good idea because it's a confusing plan. It's a mix of defense and attack.
Yes, now they're switching again. Square leg comes inside the circle, long on, long off back. So they keep following the ball. Again, that leg cutter-like release. Misfield, and these two batters were really aware. Now it's gone through the backup fielder as well. By the time protection comes along, easy couple of runs. The wheels are coming off Singapore here.
Yeah, Singapore struggling out in the field. They give away an extra 3 runs. That's very unnecessary where there should have been none. They give away 3. They just need to get a grip on things. It's a bit of panic like that as well. The morning game, just always need to calm down.
Shafina Mahesh has gone for 12 runs already. Mid-on up, keeps it down to a dot ball. 30 for no loss, off to a top start, Kuwait.
And see the physio for Kuwait running on just a medical break, I think, for one of the batters. But Baba will tell you, I've been in this business for so long, and I know pressure is not a good thing in this business. The only way to deal with it is just to remain calm. It just never works for anyone who panics.
Just giving a little more insight for the viewers out there. When you say be calm, is there a process that you can follow when you're on the ground, when the heat is on? Both ways, what can you do as a player to bring that calmness?
Yeah, for example, the 3 runs that were given away from the ball before the over ended. All the fielder and cover needed to do was to hold the ball. There was no point in throwing. But when you throw because you're panicking and the cover is also missing, that's when you give a 1 extra 3. So if you just hold the ball, it's only a run. Yes, you've made a mistake, but 2 wrongs never make anything right.
Here is Ella once again.
Remember in the morning game when they were coming after Japan, all they needed to do was just calm down and then sort of assess things in a more objective manner rather than being emotional in the moment. So that's the whole point, that the pressure in this situation, whoever panics is the one who will lose the game.
Yes, just to add to that point, another dot. Dennis, I'm a massive believer. How you lead your life off the field really dictates that particular process of bringing calm. Post your cricketing life, if you're somebody who's able to bring some calmness and look inwards in terms of having that awareness, that really helps you while you're out there. And this is something which the coaches, the captains, nobody can help you. You got to captain yourself when you're in a situation like this.
Exactly, and that's what Ramesh did when she got that half century. Even when the team was in trouble, she came out there and just expressed herself, remained positive throughout, and gave the team a very, very good advantage.
Yes, the legendary Serena Williams talks about winning when nobody is watching. And what she means is how you carry yourself in practice, how you carry yourself beyond the ground, beyond the field, really reflects in how calm you are when the pressure is on, when the heat is on. Oh, chance, few dot balls, and she's gone for the hike, but she's found the gap too. Welcome boundary, just a touch pressure building, and Murali has once again found the fence.
Yeah, we spoke about it, and the challenge with the way Ella has been bowling is that she keeps feeding the bat, and you sort of allow the batters to find their own range. This time, Mulari, after understanding that there will be nothing happening, she decides to chance her arms and go straight over her head to get another boundary. And where she hits the ball, even if you have two fielders on the rope, the ball will just bisect them and go to the boundary.
Down to only 61 more needed. Last ball of this over cuts back sharply. Much better length, that hard length, that 6.5 meter length that should have been there before. Still 1 over remaining in this power play. They're already 34 for no loss. Shafina to continue. Don't think he bowled that bad. She bowled that badly. Just that outside edge that went for 4. And then some way or the other, they kept following the ball in that over. If she too can get the lengths right, there could be a chance for a wicket, because Murali is going after the bowlers.
Yeah, Murali doing the work for the team for Kuwait.
Give it a full whack there. Was very much in the slot, and she kept her head down. This time it was Gomez.
Yeah, another one in the slot, and Gomez is able to hit it over the infield. They've been playing these over the top shots very, very well.
I love the body language both of these two batters have brought to this run chase, Dennis. So often we talk about intent in wide ball cricket. This is what intent looks like. You get a bad ball, make sure you put it away.
And I think this is the attitude you need when you're chasing down a small total.
Nip it in the bud. Kill it inside the power play.
Yeah, exactly. If you come and sort of try and get to the end slowly, sometimes that's when you make mistakes and lose wickets. And then the pressure is back on you.
Oh, yes, Dennis. I've been in too many dugouts who have done that. and it's suffocating to watch. But Kuwait, and credit to them, they have gone the opposite way. They have taken on the challenge head on.
I'm telling you, the few T20 games that I've played, I would rather chase a big total than a small one. I think what Gomez and Murari have done so well is that they've realized that there will be scoring opportunities for them. So they are playing the good balls with respect, but anything that has been overpitched, they made sure it goes to the fence.
And they're picking the right gaps. Off the inside half of the bat, not far away from the stumps.
Yeah,
Change of pace there.
Yeah, I'm sure Gomez is feeling like she's missed out on that one. It's a very, very good start for Kuwait.
How smartly she's nudged that one as well. So all power and a bit of touch too from this batting pair. They've been really impressive.
Yeah, that's why they've been very good. They've just realized they pick their moments. They're not trying to swing at everything. It's a very, very good power play for Kuwait.
Power play done, and it's been all Kuwait in that. Scoring almost 7 runs per over. The 39 for no loss. Racing along.
Baba, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm not so sure if Roshni Ramesh bowls a bit. But if I was the captain after what she did in the first innings, I'll be very, very tempted to give her the ball.
Yes, instead they've gone to Vinu Kumar. She too looked switched on with the bat in hand for a brief stay. Eventually got out after playing a series of dot balls. Can she bring that Maida's touch with the ball?
Because I tell you what, there's nothing to lose for Singapore anymore at this stage. Ramesh had the luck with her with the bat. Maybe she could have the luck with the ball as well.
And you never know, one brings two.
We saw what Ayaka Kato, Stafford did for Japan.
For her, it was about to be 4 brings 5. That she was done with a quota of overs. Yeah, this is gentle, very harmless bowling from Vinu Kumar here. And where they are right now, how far ahead they are right now, this works for Kuwait.
Yeah, exactly. The bowling is very, very easy for them. The field is spread. They don't even need to take the risk.
It's even 3-4 singles from here on in. Every over will win it for them comfortably.
Very, very nice and easy now for Kuwait.
And I refuse to blame Safina Mahesh as well, because she did the right thing, introduced off spin inside the power play. But the off spinner looked lackluster as well. Only went for 8 runs, but bowled a lot of pies in that over. That was a wide.
Yeah, that's a thing that even on a batting track, The challenge is with the bowlers to make sure that they are landing the ball in the right areas. Anything else will be put away very easily.
But I know what you mean with bringing that point. Sometimes in a situation like this, it's better to be introducing a part timer.
That's what I said. There's nothing to lose in this situation. There's not so many runs to work with.
Nobody there. That was placed straight, although no power behind it. Ends up being just a run.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about. That because the fielders who are out in the deep are very wide, when you hit the ball straight over the bowler's head, it will be very difficult for them to try and cut off the ball. Yeah, Gomez, they are desperate, talking to the umpire that we need something. And the umpire tells the extra fielders to go back out.
Yes, they've just allowed one of them, which is fair. One is all they need to carry the amount of drinks both the batters need.
Yeah, but I think it looked like they wanted to take off the helmets and maybe get cups. Because in this heat under the helmet, it's also not very, very easy to bat.
It's extremely irritating. Especially if you don't have a bandana or something beneath the helmet. The sweat keeps dropping through your eyebrows onto your eye line. Placed on the back foot, won't be a run. There you go. You've got a wish. Roshni Ramesh onto the bowling attack from the KL end. If the magic happens, it must happen now. Trying to go for the big shot was a wayward delivery wide.
Yeah, trust me, I've been around long enough. And considering that she batted down the order, that means that she has some bowling in her. Just toss the ball to her, and then everything made her be her day.
Chance being created. The back leg was grounded. Almost, Dennis.
Yeah, my money is on Ramesh to try and redeem the defense for Singapore. Tired looking shot there from Gomez. I don't know if she's running out of gas. But there's still so many runs to go, and there's still some work for her to do.
She's slightly wrong-footed in her action as well. Sometimes as a batter, it gets difficult. Drags it onto the onside. Ends up being a single.
This is where if you're Team Singapore, you sort of run out of ideas and you're hoping that something will give.
Oh, unable to put that one away. That was there for the taking. Instead, it's just a single down to deep fine leg.
Tell you that won't hurt Kuwait because they've done so much groundwork that they can afford a couple of overs without some big hits, and they'll still get to the end.
This time around doesn't carry too long on. That fielder did well, did come inside the ring, did Devika Galia. Just a run. Yes, you're spot on there. They don't mind picking up 3-4 singles every over. In cruise control mode now. This time just pushing that wide line. Ends up being the extra ball in this over too. Fielder on the fence, won't get there. She's missed it ever so slightly, will allow the extra run to be taken. You were not wrong, Dennis. Couple of opportunities being created in this over.
Exactly, a couple of opportunities for Kuwait to lose at least a wicket.
Instead, it's Kuwait who have gone on to the 50-run mark in this opening partnership. Priyada and Shoban have ensured that they have gotten off to the strongest possible start they could have hoped for.
Yeah, what a wonderful start from the two opening batters. And when it gets under 40 as the required runs, then you start to believe sort of in that 200-meter bend and looking at the finishing line.
Just over the stumps, that bounces. Had that not bounced, that would have kissed the middle stump. Every now and then, Priyada Murli just gets out of her slumber and tries a shot over long on. Beg your pardon, that was Shoban Gomez.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Gomez is tired. Those two shots where there were opportunities to get her stamped out, they're just tired looking shots. She's not trying to hit the ball anywhere. But it's just a sort of a wild agricultural slog across the line.
Yes, good from Priyada to have a little word with Shoban here. Ask her, take a bit of time, but stay there.
Yeah, exactly. She needs to know that she's allowed to take a rest and even give a maiden over, just to make sure that both of them recharge their batteries and then get going in the next overs.
Yes, it's the same logic with how the electric scooters work. You got to de-accelerate to recharge. You don't necessarily apply the brakes because that takes up energy. But if you de-accelerate, you can recharge for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You get a wide here and there. Either way, you'll still be in business.
Oh, nicely left alone. Once again, couple of wides down the leg side. As you can see in the background, the horses preparing for another race next to the cricketing facility, the pristine equestrian club. Are you a horses man, Dennis?
I won't say I'm a horses man, but I have an interest. I think they're beautiful creatures and very, very interesting. So I've been inspired to become a horseman. Yeah, for Singapore now, when you look on the park, Baba, they just look like they're deflated and just waiting for this to get to the end.
Which is never a good sign, of course. You want the fight to be on till the last over at least, which is what we saw in the morning game.
Yeah, the problem is that they didn't score enough runs. And now when the team that is going after your total is 54 for no loss, you're hoping against hope, but hope has never been a strategy.
It's only a strategy when the game is done. And you're waiting for the results to go your way. But when you're out there, you got your luck in your own hands.
Yeah, but a very, very positive approach here from Kuwait, and I've liked it. They've just come out guns blazing.
Full toss been finally hit towards the boundary rider. And so being another run.
That's what I've been talking about. They've already gotten 5 runs without necessarily taking any risk whatsoever.
Half a shot, tired looking shot. But once again, the placement, because those two boundary riders are so wider, it's safe enough.
Yeah, the placement very good there from Gomez. Hitting with no risk whatsoever.
9 done, 57 for no loss. Both the batters now just down on their knees, taking that much needed slight little breather between overs.
I think what they need to do in this particular over, this is the over before the break, and you don't need to get it. You don't need to get tired right now, because I'm sure if we get a wicket, we shall just go to the break. Just need to survive these 6 balls, get some juices in, and then come and finish off the job.
Yes, sometimes the over before the break, as you mentioned, you got to doubly focus. Batters have different methods to do the same. We'll come to that. Rash shot once again. Long on fielder comes in, drops it. Now that fielding effort somehow sums the day for Singapore here. Devika Galia got into a good position, but could never hold on to that chance.
Yeah, nothing is going Singapore's way. Nothing is going to hand. Even an opportunity to get a wicket has been put down.
And straight away, she's been banished from that long on region to come inside the circle on the onside. Down to long off now. Just be one more run. Yes, as I mentioned, batters have different kind of process to do the same. Normally, most of them really revolve around 3 hours. That is, you reflect on what kind of a time it is. You relax a bit, don't pressurize yourself, and you refocus. So those are the 3 hours they basically look at in a situation like this. And you got to have different body movements perhaps for each of them. So when you're reflecting on it, perhaps you've gone a little on the side towards the square leg umpire perhaps. When you're relaxing, you're walking towards the crease. And when you refocus, you are perhaps looking at the field, what is set for you. If you can distinct all 3 of them in terms of 3 distinct notions, as she's done with that lovely front foot block, then you'll get through these moments.
Yeah, very true. And just 2 more balls before they can be able to take a break. It's now 60 for no loss.
Struck powerfully, work to be done at long on. Clean pickup and throw. Just one more. I've been mighty impressed with these 2 openers here. Murli and Gomez making sure that Singapore don't even have a foot in the door. More of the same, please. These 2 batters will go into drinks, much needed drinks and well deserved drinks break for them. As far as Singapore is concerned, well, they need a break from this opening partnership too. 62 for no loss as we dive into a little breather. Drinks break. Welcome back after that drinks break. And it's been all Kuwait with this opening partnership. 62 for no loss at the end of the 10th over mark. That has ensured they have shut the door down on Singapore here. Here with me in the commentary box is still Dennis. Welcome back.
Thank you, Baba. You feel that that break was just delaying the inevitable for Qatar, for Kuwait. They've been in charge of this franchise from the first ball. And from here on, they only need 33 runs for them to get over the line and pick up their first victory of the tournament. For Singapore, the break in the first innings worked wonders for them. You wonder if this particular break can also give them a breakthrough that they need.
Yes, for anything to go their way, they need wickets in bunches, in clusters. For that to happen, they need to pick the first one. It is Rashmika Badri from the south end. Lofted shot will be just a run.
I think it's just that the bowling for Singapore hasn't understood that the only two balls that Gomez and Murari are looking to hit are the ones that are pitched up. So every time they've pitched up, the other two batters are not being shy to offer a shot. That's where you needed to have your control, especially in terms of adjusting your length.
And Dennis, your honest assessment in terms of the kind of bowling strengths that Singapore they have shown in this tournament, they definitely need somebody else to support Ella with the new ball, and they perhaps need another good spinner in that bowling core.
Yeah, Murari, they are trying to be cheeky. Yeah, I agree with you, Baba. The thing is that the bowling, even for Kuwait, wasn't the most amazing or out of this world, but they were just able to make sure that they have good control and take the opportunities. So for Singapore, they've created a few opportunities. They just haven't taken them. I mean, the point is working with what you have.
Yes, and if it's not working out, you gotta find other personnel who can provide some form of spice in that bowling attack. You spoke about Kuwait, and I agree. Their bowling attack is quite modest indeed, but there is variety. We saw Maria bowling really well, tight. Then there was Candice, so they have at least got two seamers who can do a job for them. And then, of course, the two off spinners along with the captain. So at least two seamers, two spinners, and all they had to do was find the fifth bowling option through the gap for four. As you said, delaying the inevitable. Gets the boundary.
Everything that has been pitched up today has been punished by Murari and Priyada. It's a nice, juicy full toss on the offside. It's given the treatment.
Yes, I think that's where really Singapore women's team should be heading from here on in. Yes, you can look at that scorecard today and you can say the batters had a real off day. What, 7 to 8 single digit scores? You don't want that?
Exactly. Just two outstanding figures that gave Singapore a chance. But I think Kuwait have just made sure that there's no opportunity for them with the ball. Put all the ball into the sword. And now in a very, very comfortable position at 69 for no loss in 11 overs.
And a beat down like this can sometimes work in your favor because it then shows you the mirror of what the reality is, where you need to go. What did you exactly lack in a campaign like this? They'll go winless after this game as well. So, real time to reflect for them. As far as Kuwait is concerned, they will really cherish these points, Dennis.
Yeah, very much. And like you've mentioned, such performances give you perspective that out of the 3 games that we played, we're unable to win any. When we go back home, we can't rest on our laurels. We need to make sure we keep improving because everyone else is doing the same.
Yeah, we were talking about variety in bowling. There comes another spinner, Davina Sharma.
Oh,
Davina goes even more loopy. Another moon ball has been put away in style. Gomez never needed a second invitation.
yeah, very, very happy with that full toss, Gomez. And she's been targeting that area. This time she gets the ball to beat the 2 fielders out in the deep and gets a boundary. Davina welcomed into the attack with a boundary.
I'll tell you what, go back to the opening fixture of ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026. It was UAE who got a 10-wicket victory. Since then, this here has been, again, another formidable bit of display from both the openers.
Yeah, Baba, this is too easy for a batter who's already on 30 from 31. It's just not going to get them out unless it is batter failure.
Oh, could be a no ball, is it? Not to be, as it seems like.
Yeah, can be a no ball. I think she was out of her crease. She tried to take a shimmy down the wicket.
Yeah, but that's what the non-striker asked the umpire, and perhaps that was the same explanation that was given, that she was out of the crease. Even then, looked pretty high. Harmless though, so Davina can continue bowling. Well managed off the back foot, nobody behind. Square on the offside. Oh, this is good from them. They're pushing for the second run after being out there for more than an hour. Gomez and Murali still pressing on the paddle.
Yeah, the second run was sort of like an afterthought because they looked comfortable for the single. But then Murali realized that there's an opportunity for a double. It's now looking like a procession to the end.
In the same gap, but this time long off. Should keep it down to just 1.
Again, a chance of another double, but I don't think Murali will go back this time. But what a batting performance here from Kuwait. This shearing hit and in this.
It's more than just 2 points that you have earned.
Yeah, true. I think you've also earned the respect of your opponent. But Davina has bowled a full over of hit me balls. I think she's just lucky to go for only 8. After 12 overs, 77 for no loss, Kuwait.
I think they call it buffet bowling.
They had a good change in the bowling here, and I thought that the captain took long to bring herself back into the attack. She was bowling well. She was just unfortunate that a couple of balls found the outside edge and the rest to the boundary. But overall, for me, she's looked like the tidy one.
Very much an off day for Shafina Mahesh. Struck powerfully, won't cost them any more than 1. The batter who survived, Anushka Tomar, for the next 3 overs, she just shut shop. Hardly could get a run, and that slowed them down completely. Normally, a run out like that, and if you have survived that as a batter, you take that on your chin and you try to score the runs of the partner who just left.
Baba, you make a good point, and I don't know for Singapore whether that's the team plan, but I think the first 5 batters, all of them had showed very little intent. If you compare that to Ramesh and Divika, who came in a bit later, were showing more intent. They were hitting the ball with purpose. But the first 5, all of them were only nudging the ball, and sort of that allowed Kuwait to build a house around them, and eventually they just could never get out of trouble.
And that's the reason while I asked for change of personnel in the bowling core, I didn't do that for the batting core. Bit of a leading edge will go over the short mid. The reason I didn't ask for a change of core in terms of the batters, because all of that top order looked like they were getting into good position. They're getting behind the ball, just were reluctant enough to hit the ball hard.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Maybe it was the occasion that overwhelmed them, and then they were not able to push the ball with some purpose.
Now they're just playing lofted shots where there aren't any fielders. It's a little too easy. It's been like that for the last hour or so for Priyada Murli, Shoban Gomez. Let's go trickling along.
Yeah, but I would say by no means has it been very easy for Kuwait. They've just had the attitude just to make sure that they get on top of Singapore.
The sweeper will come around. Had that been a better throw, could have been the first wicket, but you can see even the fielders are tiring out.
Yeah, it's not just the fielders. I think everyone has been knackered by the heat. Because if you look at that 83, there have not been so many boundaries. So Mulari and Gomez have done a lot of running between the wickets. So many shuttles. And trust me, those can get to your legs. So you have to feel for them when they're out there in the middle.
And tennis for us as well. From here in the Combox, we've seen these 2 matches on this lovely ground, and we've seen that teams approaching the same surface quite differently. Japan and Kuwait here were high intent with the bat in hand, and that has really helped their cause. On the other hand, if you see, it was only a few batters from their opposite teams who took on that mantra. Everybody else who were defensive, who went into a shell, didn't exactly help the cause of the teams.
Yeah, I think we've watched so much cricket. We know that in this game, all you need is to stay positive. It's always that one ball with your name on it. And until it comes, just keep going.
Yes, spoken like a batter who's felt the pain of missing out on a good surface. I can second that. Is there one particular incident that you remember? Where you missed out on a belter, everybody else got the runs? Oh, that one kept low. I can quickly tell you mine.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just thinking about it, but I think the most one, I think one of our World Cup games at the Under 19 World Cup in Bangladesh against Ireland, team got a very big total. I think I'm the only one who nicked out on 0, but everyone else was amongst the runs. So amongst my friends, that's always a story.
And they keep reminding you.
Exactly.
Happened to me in a minor county game playing for Preston. We had about 4 left-handers in top 6, and the opposition had about 2 or 3 left-arm spinners with a shorter leg side. I was opening the batting and got out to a seamer before those 3 spinners could even come on. And after I came out to the pavilion, all of them 3 feasted on those spinners. That was really wide. and was perhaps hit straight to that fielder.
Yeah, I'm starting to run out of the chances that have been created by Ramesh. I'm running out of fingers.
With no butter on them, which they have got apparently.
Yeah, I think today has just been one of those days for Singapore. Nothing has gone their way, probably apart from the half century for Ramesh. Everything has been about Kuwait.
Yeah, finally decides to leave the wide ball alone so that he can get the extra for it. She was forcing a shot out of that line previously. Down to single figures now, the deficit. Struck powerfully. Just be one more run. Cruising along Singapore. Only 8 runs away from gaining first set of points here at the ACC Women's Premier Cup 2026.
Yeah, Kuwait now 2 hits away from their first win of the tournament. And what a batting masterclass it's been from Gomez and Murari. It will be very, very strong, big decision to make for the officials on who the player of the match should be. But I think the both of them have made a very, very good contribution to the total.
Mahesh to continue leading edge. Might just race along. Stops just before. Oh, that is tricky. That is tricky. And the umpire was very, very quick to realize that. Square leg umpire has perhaps seen how that ball was stopped and she signaled it rightly so. That is tremendous awareness there from the umpire.
Yeah,
Kritika Venkatesh watched it till the very end and knew that was 4 always.
Yeah, that is the kind of day that Singapore have had. Running out of ideas already. Another big swing there from Gomez. Now the only 3 more runs that are required for the victory for Kuwait.
Yeah, it looks like this could be the last over of the game.
I don't know what Davina Sharma was doing in that moment because the ball had already stopped. But she was outside of the rope and then she decided to drag it back in.
That looked like a kind of appeal that you would make out very early, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even have the voices now because right now all you want to do is to get off. Because a new batter will just delay the end. I've seen something like that happen in a game, what Davina did. Sometimes I think players just...
They call it brain fade, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading edge. 1 more run.
Two more runs for the victory for Kuwait. And what a victory it will be. Close to a 10-wicket win for them. The only other team with a 10-wicket victory, the UAE, but they were only chasing down 25 against Saudi Arabia. So I think this will be a bigger performance.
Across the line, Hoik, rare dot ball. What that does, that might push this game further into another over. Other than that, it's done and dusted with Siobhan Gomez and Priyada Murli both into their 40s.
tell you what, 42 for Gomez hasn't been any eye candy batting, but it has been effective. Full toss again, but goes nowhere. The 2 runs will be gotten in the next over because after 15 overs, Kuwait and 93 for no loss. Ramesh will bowl the final over, but Kuwait just need 2 runs from as many as 30 balls. Won't take the run. Murari, I think she's thinking we don't need to run the last 2. Clearly searching for a boundary. Used her feet, go to the pitch of the ball.
Stuff that you dream of, Dennis, to win the game for your team with a boundary. That should do it.
Yeah, that should do it. A flourishing finish here from Mulari, who will finish unbeaten on 40. Flighted bowler from Ramesh. She gets to the pitch of the ball, and like she's done throughout this whole second innings, hits its up at the STC Oval. That's the summary of the game. The first innings from Singapore, after Kuwait won the toss and asked them to bat first. They were rescued by a half century from Ramesh, who got 57 from 39 balls to finish on 94 for 6 in the quarter of 20 overs. But in the second innings, Kuwait put the hammer down, both opening batters finishing unbeaten. Murari with 44 and Gomez with 42 as Kuwait pick up a 10-wicket victory against Singapore here at the STC Oval. Big decision will be needed on who will be the player of the match, but I know the 2 opening batters will be the strong contenders for this one after making sure that Kuwait finish with a 10-wicket win. I've been Dennis Musale with Baba, but make sure you stay around because Baba is coming back with the post-match presentation with the 2 captains and the player of the match.
Yes, it was Kuwait and Singapore who came to this game desperate for points. Eventually, when someone of them that got the points got it in the most satisfactory manner, it was Kuwait who went on to win that game by 10 wickets. There were really good performances from Singapore as well, especially from Roshni, who batted, held up one end, scored that half century, really kept the fight on. But then again, for Priyada Murli to finish with 44 unbeaten, and Shoban Gomez with her score of 42 unbeaten really killed the game altogether. That's why our player of the match is Shoban Gomez. Shoban, if you can please come and have the match referee congratulate you for the performance. Very well played, Shoban. And if I can have a little chat with you as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Shoban, that target could have been tricky, but the way you two batted, you completely took the game from the opposition.
Yes, it was not an easy total. Went out over there, played what my coach and my captain said, go fearless. That's what's really needed. Believe in myself. Believe the team believes in me. The coach believes in me. Most importantly, my captain has backed me up from match one. Yes, in these conditions, it's not easy. It was a tough fight, but I love playing under it.
We enjoyed it too. Good luck for the next one. Well played. Right then, now can I have the captain of Singapore, please? Shafina, tough game overall, but you must be really proud of the way Roshni put up the fight. She's shown the entire dugout that there is plenty of ability in you all.
I'm very, very proud of Roshni. I think she really kept in the batting innings today. But we still do need to work a lot on the capitalizing, especially in the beginning. And our middle batters also got to really just stick it in and, keep the pressure on the fielders. We can't give it away just like that. But really, really proud of Roshni today, how she batted in all the way to the end.
I'm glad you're already reassessing. That means you'll be able to bounce back. Well, good luck for the next games.
Thank you.
Well done then. And now the winning captain, Amna, captain of Kuwait. If you can please join me for a brief chat. Amna, before even the game started, you were extremely confident that no matter what the score is, your batting unit will be able to pull it off. But the good work started with the ball in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had a great start, and then in between we were a bit shaky. But yeah, what a way to finish the tournament. Really proud of the girls, the way they've stepped up today. And yeah, very happy with all our departments. Unfortunately, the game with Malaysia cost us our spot in the next round. But hopefully we'll bounce back stronger. We have a lot to be happy on, and we have a lot to work on. So inshallah, looking forward to a successful year ahead.
Yes, not just a 10-wicket victory, but a lot of boxes ticked perhaps. Good luck for the next set of games.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well played then. That's it from the Selangor Turf Club. It's Kuwait who will go home with some points.